This is one of the best treks to experience here in the Alps. Everything you want to experience in Switzerland, you will find in this trek. The valley and the snow-capped mountain and the sun rising in the morning. As you can imagine, this is one of the most iconic places. Hello everybody. So I'm very pleased to have you tonight for this trek of the Matterhorn. I will try to describe it as much as I can. Just first, my name is Pierrick and I'm a French mountain guide. I'm living in Saint-Gervais, just next to Chamonix, about 15 kilometers from Chamonix. I started a trekking company called What's Trekking 2 years ago, and we tried to enjoy the mountain with our clients, especially in the Alps, in our garden, but as well as in Europe and about 20 countries. We would be very pleased to have you on this trek here around the Matterhorn to experience the trek in the Alps. If you are interested, I just started this company after a 3 years trip around the world that I made with my wife for climbing and discovering and trekking. And this gave me the power to start this adventure. So I know quite places in the world, and the most I know is my home, the Alps, that I will try to present you tonight. What will we cover tonight? We'll talk about Zermatt and the Matterhorn, okay, and the situation in the Alps for you to situate where is this mountain between two countries. Then I will try to give you some historical facts about the Matterhorn because there is history quite interesting on this mountain. And after we'll go through the real tour of the Matterhorn and the 8 days trek. I will try to show you what you can expect from this trek. And then we'll go through some physical requirements and tips and tricks for the treks. Like this, you can be maybe able to assess if you have the level to come and if you really want to come and experience this trek. First of all, here is a video of the Alps and the main trekking places that you can experience with the Mont Blanc, our home here, which you can have Tour du Mont Blanc in 7 or 10 days. There is the Grand Combin in Switzerland, where you can have a 6 to 7 days trek around as well. Here is the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn we'll talk about just later on here, which is at the border between Italy and Switzerland. And the last place is called Monte Rosa, which is as well at the border between Italy and Switzerland. So this is the 4 main places where you can experience good trekking here in the Alps. So let's talk tonight about the Matterhorn and the tour of the Matterhorn. So I'm pretty sure you have already seen this mountain because of this typical shape, pyramidal shape. I don't know if you know it, but this mountain is a piece of rock of Africa. So this is quite an interesting fact. Just a million years ago, the African plate and the European plate just moved together and the mountain raised, and a part of the African plate just lay down here in Europe. So this rock on the Matterhorn is a typical rock that you can find in other mountains just very close to the Matterhorn, which is called the Weisshorn. But the geological part of the Matterhorn is totally different from the rest of the rock around. This summit almost goes to 4,500 meters, and it is a rocky summit that can be climbed only on a rocky style. I'm pretty sure you know this summit with the chocolate bar called Toblerone. Toblerone just take the shape of this mountain as an icon, and it is sold everywhere in the world. So I'm pretty sure you already experienced and taste this marvelous chocolate. In this picture, everything is gathered that what you will find in Switzerland with the Matterhorn, with the huts, the cows, even the railway, the chalet and the flowers, and all the outdoor activities that you can experience here in the meadows and the mountain in Switzerland. So this is a typical painting of everything you can find here in Switzerland. Let's come back to the summit. On the red point, you can see the summit of the Matterhorn, which is at 4,500 meters. The white line just shows the historical route that has been climbed in 1865. In 1865, it was the first climb of this summit by an Englishman called Edward Whymper, who climbed up this mountain with 6 other persons, 2 other guides. One was from Chamonix, one was from Zermatt. And they climbed this summit. They were the first men arrived at this summit in 1865. So it was a very good point for them at this time. It was a difficult climb, but they managed to go at the top. And unfortunately, at the end, in the descent, 4 persons just fell down the mountain and died. and only 3% managed to came at the bottom of the mountain alive. So it was a dramatical issue, but it was as well a very good climb and the first person who been to the top. Here I just put some paintings of the ascent where you can see Edward Whymper at the top of the Matterhorn, and on the right side you can see the grave of Edward Whymper, who just lays now in the Zermatt village. Here is as well some drawings. You can see how it could be difficult for them to climb up to the summit with the techniques of the late 19th century. So it was a very, very good climb for them. And unfortunately, not all the person went down. The story of this summit is linked to the village of Zermatt, which was at this time just a small village. But what happened is the British government, after this accident, just tried to avoid the British people to come and climb the Matterhorn. But it was the total opposite that happened, and many climbers from the UK came here to climb the Matterhorn, and it started the touristic place that Zermatt is today. Zermatt today is very, very nice place, very touristic place. It lays at 1,600 meters up. It gets about 6,000 inhabitants all the year, living all the year here. One of the best things you can experience here in Zermatt, you can walk safely in the city because you cannot come with the car. You have to park your car down in a village called Tesch and then take the train to go to Zermatt. This means that the total center of Zermatt is totally free for walking and hanging around. And this gives a very good feeling when you are here. So it is one of the most beautiful villages here in Switzerland. And it is very close to the mountain, as you can see on the picture. You can see the Matterhorn from almost everywhere in the city. What can you do here in Zermatt and around? First thing is the Gornerdraht railway. Railway will take you from the Zermatt city center up to 3,000 meters high and facing directly the Matterhorn. This is the best place to take pictures of the Matterhorn when the weather is fine. So this train is totally adapted if you come with some children, if you are in a family trip. This is the activity to do as the weather is okay. But you can as well take the cabin from the city center to a place called Schwarzsee. And on this place, you will be at the total bottom of the ridge to climb the Matterhorn, which is called the Hörnli. From the top, you can easily go down to Zermatt or even take the cabin down. It is up to you, but it's a second activity that is very worth doing. Here is a video of the summit around. So like this, you can see the pyramidal shape of the mountain. Just here is the north face. The north face is the Switzerland side. Here is the west face. And here on the right, this is the south face, which is the Italian side. Because the Matterhorn is just laying on the border between Switzerland and Italy. And on the right here, you can see the two main routes to go to the summit, which is on the right, the Hörnli from the Switzerland side, and on the west, on the left, this is the Italian side called the Lion Ridge. This is the two ridges to reach the top. So you can see it is quite a sharp summit, but at the end, you have a narrow line to go at the summit. And it is a very, very nice climb and thing to experience. Now let's talk more about the tour of the Matterhorn. So here is on the map, you can see the different stages of the trek, which starts in the place called Saint-Niklaus, which you can see on the right side of the map on the top. From Saint-Niklaus, we will walk anti-clockwise. So first to Gruben and then finally to Zermatt and back to Niklaus in 8 days. So this trek in Watts Agency, we decided to propose it in 8 days, although most of the other agency propose only in 6 days. So in the other agency, the trek finishes in Zermatt, but we think it's really worth doing 2 days more and completing the loop to go to Saint-Niklaus and spending a night in a very, very nice hut called Topani. So that's the reason why we do it in 8 days, and we are the only company to do it because for us, it's the best experience in this kind of days. So in 8 days, you will cover around 150 kilometers. This means that you, in average, it will be 18 kilometers per day. And you will have as well to walk uphill and downhill about 10,000 meters in the whole circuit. Okay, so this means about 6, 7, or even 8 in some days hours of walk per day. an average of 1,000 to 1,500 meters uphill every day. So this trek is a little bit technical, but it should not be your first experience in trekking. We will ask you to have a first experience in another trek, a little bit easier, such as the Tour du Mont Blanc or even other treks in the world. But you have to be fit and you have to be a little bit experienced to come on this trek. Okay, so as you can see on the map, you will go from Switzerland to Italy and back to Switzerland again. So this is a 2 countries trek, and this is quite interesting to experience as well another culture and another country during these 8 days. What kind of terrain you will have on this trek? You can see on the video here, this is the Oxboard Pass at almost 3,000 meters high. And this is the first pass you will have to walk through on the first day. So from the pass, you can see this Alp scenery with some rocks, some summits, and every day of the treks, you will have to experience walks like this. So here is another picture of the Oxboard Pass. As you can see, it is a typical day that you will have on the Tour of the Matterhorn with some snow-capped and mountain and glaciers, and down in the valley, some grass and villages with the wooden houses and cows. So everything you want to experience in Switzerland, you will find in this trek. Here is a nice meeting that you will have on the trek with the cows. Of course, the cows, they are part of the local culture here in Switzerland. And in the background, you have the snow-capped mountain, which are called the Weisshorn, which is a more than 4,000 meters high summit. This is totally what you will find in the trek, the snow-capped mountain and the agriculture and the local meadows. As we go down on the first day and the second day, we'll go through the Val d'Anniviers. What I did not say to you is that the Zermatt is a German-speaking part of Switzerland, and the Val d'Anniviers that you will go through on the second day is already a French part. So we speak French in this part, so the name Val d'Anniviers is more French name than Zermatt, which is a German part. The Val d'Anniviers is a very nice to hang around. You can see all the wooden houses and the forest and the culture and the meadows. This is a very lovely place to cross on this trek. Remans is a small village that you will go through on the third days. You can see these typical houses who are used before to have a stock of grass to give some food to the cows during the winter time. And if you go closely to the picture, you can see at the bottom of this chalet, you can see some plate rock in order to avoid the rats and the mouses to come inside and eat everything. So this is a local culture, and it's quite interesting to go and hang around this small village. Then there is some diamonds I really like on this circuit. And one of these is the Moai Glacier Lake, which is formed by the glacier. Here you can have a picture of this blue color. And this, you will just walk through this, be able to take many pictures. And this is one of the most iconic places on the Tour of the Matterhorn. From here, you can experience a short video of what is waiting you on this trek with the meadows, the snow-capped mountain, and the valley. And down there is the village of Arola, where we'll go on the 4 days. Arola is the last village in Switzerland before going to Italy. So here is another video just to show you how this is on the 4th day. So the mountain that you see in the background is called the Mont Colomb, and this is at the border with Italy. And here is the last houses in Switzerland of the village of Arola. And on this day, we'll experience an easy walk on the glacier that you can see here. So the walk on the glacier, during this trek, you will have to do it 2 times. It is not difficult. You don't have to worry about that. You can even see that we are not roped up on this glacier. It is very easy and it's quite interesting to experience. And this will lead you to one of the highest places of the trek, which is the Col Colomb at more than 3,000 meters high in altitude. Okay, so don't worry about the glacier. This is not difficult. We are used to go on it. It is like a small snow covering this glacier. It is not very difficult, but it's a good experience. This is the way down. You can see all this rocky terrain. So it is not easy terrain you have to have a little experience before coming on this trip. And to really enjoy the trek, it's better for you to have at least another trek before. In this stage, we are already in Italy. This as well is a second very nice glacier lake, which is called Praraie. So this is in Italy, but still you can feel the Swiss culture with the cows that you can see here. Just the history of these black cows is that they are not great for the milk. They are grazed for fighting. They are cows for fighting. And this is a tournament that happens every year between the three countries, France, Switzerland, and Italy. And the winner, the cow who wins this tournament, is totally a queen in the area. So don't worry, the fights are not brutal. It is just the culture. So even if you are in Italy here, it is quite the same culture that we have here in the Alps between the three countries. The Praraie place is one of the best places and very nice colored lake that you can see here. The day after Praraie is one of the hardest one because we have to walk on a very narrow path, and sometimes there was some rope to help us, but that's why I said this trek is not for the beginners. If you really want to enjoy that kind of day, you have to be well prepared and experienced. The guide will help you anyway for this day, but this is one of the most technical days. As you can see here, we are at the top of the pass at more than 3,000 meters. The pass is called Vacornera. Just before the descent, you see there are some ropes on the left. Your feet have to be very sure, and it is not for the beginners. Then when we have passed this Valcornera, on the way down, we will arrive at the place called Cervinia. Cervinia, Broid Cervinia, it is a very famous ski station, which is linked to Zermatt. So the mountain that you can see in front of you is the Matterhorn, but it is the Italian side of the Matterhorn. And the ski station is just laying on the right of the mountain. And so from this point in Italy, you can easily go by ski to Zermatt and come back. The ski station is on the two countries. So that's why it is very famous everywhere in the world with some technical slopes. And during the next day, we'll go on the second glacier on the slopes. So after the Broid Cervinia, we'll take the lift, go to the top and walk on the glacier, which is some ski slopes, as you can see on the picture. It will be the highest point during the trek. The highest point is almost at 3,300 meters. It is the start of the glacier and the start of the descent to Zermatt. This means that on the 6th day, at the end of the 6th day, you will arrive in Zermatt. But before coming to Zermatt, we'll take a path just at the bottom of the Matterhorn, as you can see here on this picture, and we'll go through these very marvelous villages, very nice villages, all in wood, which is called Zermatt. And Zermatt is the last village before coming to Zermatt on the 6th day. The advantage of having this tour in 8 days is that you will experience a night in Zermatt, and you will have the time to hang around, to have a look at everything in the city. If the trek stops in the 6th day, you will not experience this night. So we took the decision to do it in this way, and we are quite proud about this because we know that the people like hanging around, having a beer here in Zermatt. As you can see, everything is with the horses. If you want to carry your luggage, if you want, everything is with the horses because there is no car in the city. On the 7th day, after having a night in Zermatt, we'll go for the last 2 days of the trek, and we'll go to a very special place, which is called Hut Topali. What I really like, it is a really remote area. Not a lot of people just go there, and it is a chance for us because there is nobody on the trail. So here is just a piece of trail that you will have to walk through during the last 2 days with the rocks and all the valleys down. So as you can see, it's a very, very nice end of the trek. It is quite a shame not to walk on these 2 days at the end. So here is the Topali hut that I just told you before. It is quite a simple hut, but it lays at more than 2,600 meters. But it is facing directly the mountains and the valley. And from the inside, it is absolutely nice to see the valley and the snow-capped mountain and the sun rising in the morning, as you can imagine from here. So this is the hut, the Topali hut. So as I said, it's a totally shame not to come here at the end of the trek. So here is the view from the hut in the morning. I'm pretty sure you agree with me. Finally, after 8 days of walking the rock, after passing some passes of more than 3,000 meters, after having many experience, you will come back to St. Nicholas. Here is some few clues to know if you are able to come. After we can discuss, no problem. But here is some clues about the trek. As guide, we always say to the people, the fitter you are, the better you will enjoy the experience. If you come without preparing the trek, it will be difficult for you and for the guide as well, because what we like in our job is you to experience and to love the experience. So it is always a good idea to go for jogging, swimming, cycling 3-4 months before the trek and stay in good shape. It's always a good idea to do that. Just some figures to know what will be in the trek for you. It is from 6 to 7, even some 8 hours sometime of walk every day during 8 days. And again, the denivellation is from 1,000 to 1,500 meters uphill every day for 8 days. As I told you, the terrain is a little bit technical in some parts, especially at the pass. And it's a more rocky terrain, and in some places quite steep. So we ask the people who would like to hike this trek to have already previous experience. As I said, the Tour du Mont Blanc or even some other treks, little bit easier. It is just for you to enjoy more the experience. About the level and fitness, as I said, it's just more things just for you to understand what will be in the trek. You should be able to go at a pass more than 3,000 meters high. You have to walk more than 1,000 meters high every day. You should be with a good level of fitness. It is a good idea to have a previous experience before coming here. So all the information about this trek, you can find them on the website for 57 hours. You can ask any question you would like. And the last thing is our friend Craig, who went with us on the mountain, on the trek, who just explained everything he had, all the emotion that he had on this trek. And he talked about the balcony pass, the fabulous landscapes, the flowers, as well as the guide. So the Tour de Matterhorn is a very nice adventure for the people who are prepared for. And for myself, after having guided almost 50 treks in the world, this is one of the best treks to experience here in the Alps. So I was very happy to present this trek because it's one of my favorite here, and I'm just waiting for you for next season, and I would be very pleased to guide you here in my mountains.